Yeah, Anne said you couldn't have beer, but she didn't say anything about.
She didn't say I couldn't
having
take
Williams.
down a bottle.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like the whole bottle?
Yeah, why not? I mean, you can't drive for 2 months, so
Yes.
why not?
2 months?
2 months.
Did you have to get Uber?
Because I can't push.
Or did you get to work
Just
from home?
drive with your left foot.
My wife is going to be my Uber.
Just cross your legs like you're like.
I tried it the other day when I was coming from the doctor the first day. I tried it because I had just like a boot thing on, but obviously no surgery yet. And I tried it. It was so hard to do because the reaction is not there.
Oh, I bet.
It would be bad. So
You could go to England.
I could. Then I could drive,
They don't drive
on
with
the
their
left
left feet,
side
though.
of my foot.
No, but all the stuff is like flip-flops.
Well, I know, but
You're still
drive with your right foot.
Do you actually? That would be weird.
You definitely
sense.
drive with your right foot. You're just on the left side
I
of the
think
car.
it's-
the pedals are all
What
the
if
same.
people are
just on the other
left-footed?
side.
Are you sure? I think the pedals are flipped too.
You left-footed. No, the pedals aren't flipped.
No,
They're the same. Z's.
definitely not.
You're just on the other.
That's
the
a question
opposite
I'll
side.
ask. I'm going to ask my
I don't think
sister
they
now.
have pedals.
Write that down.
Yeah, I think
You drive with your mind in England.
Mona Lisa's
Probably.
right. I think you just use it's like Flintstones car. I don't think you actually use any pedals.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to podcast number 12. We made it a year.
We
Right?
did well, yeah, or well.
This will be the 12th one.
This is 12.
That's
I
12
don't
months
think-
a year. That's a year.
Technically,
Technically, something's
month-
off, right?
No, it's right. 'Cause
Yeah,
We did a year's worth.
yes.
correct.
Next month we'll start over again.
It's
Yeah,
like we're just professionals now.
It's like we are.
We have
The
come a long
teacher
way.
husbands, not the teachers.
We are going to be teaching the teachers
On how to do.
on how to do stuff.
On how to husband.
Well, that too.
All that.
We're always doing that.
We're pros at that.
That's why we're doing this podcast.
Right.
Not just any teacher husband gets to have a podcast. You have to excel at what you're doing.
Right.
And
We're like the best of the
both
best of
areas,
the
right?
best.
Ask around. People will tell you.
People know us.
Right.
I mean, not really. Not that many people know us, but
Some do.
Devoted
self-
fans.
We have a couple of those.
it's mainly one of the people here at this desk right now. So,
It's true.
well, and their friends. So, anyway, for the 12th podcast, we are having my children on.
Oh,
John Raffio and Mona Lisa. That's
those
who's
are.
today.
Why did you? Go, I mean, I'm not going to just harp on those names, but why did you pick names like that?
Well, from the same show.
Oh, I got you. Oh, they're
it,
not
and their
really
brother,
their
sister.
names. Okay.
I think it was an impulse. Like, it just came out. Like, it was.
Plus one of them is very much like the character in the show.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to say which
Okay.
one.
It's not me.
We're going to let you guys fight it
One,
out.
yeah. We'll list traits of how they are on the show, and we'll just start to determine who's who. So,
Yeah, I think
that
the
sounds pretty good.
listeners will be able to determine at the end of the podcast who that is. So we brought them on to ask them some questions about what it's like to be a teacher kid,
Oh yes.
because I think we're going to do this with all the teacher.
We're going to do it with all of them, yeah. So we
Yeah.
talked about, next, I don't know if it's next month, we haven't really decided, but next month we'll have the other three on who are much younger and different stages of life. And we'll start with the old ones that are here.
Yeah,
Kyle's,
He called you old. How do you feel
are
about
old.
that?
Mature.
you feel mature about being called old.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Or are you saying like real mature, Jeremy?
Yeah, real mature. No.
I mean they both voted, so
Ooh.
Yeah, after calling you and asking what to vote on.
Well, man, I know my kids will not be calling me. They'll just be picking the opposite of what I do, so it's fun. It's good.
That's the truth.
you need to get on that right now, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's okay. So,
Well, we have some questions,
we got lots of questions. I'm sure we
Let's-
do.
It's going to be a Q
and I'm going to let Jeremy
A.
and Jason kind of run through these
Oh, because
like,
there
it's
are
not just
questions.
me.
Well, that's
I'll
fine.
throw in some questions as well.
Good.
I've sprinkled in a few myself.
Okay.
Maybe even a couple your mother.
Oh, she
Leslie
got
Knope
some
wants to
questions.
know, too.
Oh,
So
Oh, did you ask her stuff?
no, I should. I should have. I'm gonna let them tell it. But I said, "Is there anything you want to know?" that we could ask. And she's all, well, no. And she was busy. So she kind of gave me a couple things, but
Nice.
Is there anything we need to pick up from last episode? I don't
Trying to remember. I mean, there is
Before we
end
get
of the
too far into
episode
this.
discussion, but from last episode,
Oh.
but that probably didn't happen, so it's fine.
the more emails.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kyle, nobody wanted. I think they want you to die, Kyle.
Yeah, basically. Oh yeah, you guys missed that.
I should have done my research.
Yeah. Did you not
Yeah,
listen to
you
the last
should have
episode?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I did.
You did. I didn't even get an email from you, Lisa, this time.
didn't.
So that's
Great.
Good. He's okay with
I get
it.
many emails. It's hard to filter through them, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to send them out. I did get one. I got 3 emails, but it was from one person.
He's a very avid listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
They really tried.
I counted that as 1.
Oh,
so
okay.
out of 10, you got 1.
All right. Well,
Well, what were the 1/3 responses?
just was go for it, right?
Well, they were pretty short, but they were.
So we tried to cheat and vote more than once.
Maybe.
Kind of. That kind of situation.
Could be.
Sounds sus.
The subject was butt camera.
Right camera.
And then it was Kyle get a colonoscopy.
Oh yeah.
Second email was
These are probably all from my
subject
wife.
right away.
Right away.
You were long overdue, Kyle. And the last one was subject, it's time,
time.
exclamation mark. Kyle, make your appointment.
Yeah. Oh good.
It sounds eerily familiar.
That's it.
Like it could be from an email address I might recognize.
You might.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We'll
it didn't
keep
work. So
It didn't work.
not enough.
I think she just might make the appointment for you.
I don't think so. I doubt it.
For those of you that did not listen, looking right at you guys, if we had 10 emails, Kyle was going to go get a colonoscopy.
Because it's
So-
very
Should've
much
listened.
overdue.
Because it's his time.
I've
is
got
his time.
10 friends.
We were just looking out for his health.
That's all.
I totally had forgot about that, and I would have been a lot more nervous, to be honest, had I remembered. But thank goodness
you're saved.
it didn't happen.
So
Darn it.
For now.
for
until
now, until the end of this podcast.
No, because I don't think we're going to continue it on. Because now
I was going to say something darker than that, but that's fine.
Or until you die from
Butt cancer.
butt cancer.
There we go. Perfect.
That's it.
we talking about butt cancer with my kids? That's cool.
Yeah, this is a
Don't
good
pry,
segue.
We're
Jamie.
mature. Okay.
It's called colorectal cancer, okay? Let's just
We're
get
not
it-
bringing this
get
up
it.
with our kids.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, remember, these are the old kids.
Yeah, these are the old
Right.
kids. You
I
gotta
might bring this
mature.
up with your kids. Hey,
Hey,
guys, did you know your dad could get butt cancer? You better make sure he gets a colonoscopy.
They're going to be like, well, my dad's not old enough yet.
Oh,
They don't.
Okay. So when's this podcast end?
This is it. This is the final one. We did
This
it.
is it. We made it a year. We're out.
I have to resign from my position.
Well, there's no other teacher husbands anywhere, so that'll be tough.
Yeah,
spot
we're the
to
only
fill.
ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the only ones who are qualified.
No.
is
That's true.
So,
obviously.
all right.
We
Well,
can't believe ourselves.
Yeah, man. Enough screwing around here, right? So we were talking. Let's see. Last month we talked to Mona Lisa briefly, not on air, but just kind of going through some stuff.
Yeah, we did some brainstorming.
Brainstorming secrets. So I guess, if you kind of can go back to the start of your school careers, you two, do you remember, I think we talked about that Mona Lisa doesn't, but maybe John Ralphio, this could be good. Do you remember a time when your mom wasn't a teacher? Probably not, huh?
The only thing that comes to mind is when she was going back to school to become a teacher.
Okay.
I remember vaguely we were at church or something long time ago, and she had just decided that's what we were going to do, and there was just lots of discussion between my mom and dad about what changes needed to be made in order to see this new lifestyle through.
It was a fun time.
Did they fight?
You can be honest. It's fine.
I mean, I was too young to remember that part, and they're good about it. But
I mean, probably the answer was yes.
I'm sure there was some
It's like,
topics.
Some
Guess
words,
what? I'm
some
quitting
choice
my
words.
job. That's really good, and I'm just gonna be a teacher, but not for a long time because I have to go to school. Okay. So anyway, and then obviously it was a great decision, like a lot of her decisions are. So,
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
That's good. Isn't it funny to look at it now? I mean, obviously, I've only known her as a teacher. You only have. But, like, I don't think there's anything else she could do. It just seems weird, you know? Like,
She was very
that
good-
she used to do something else.
she was a processor for mortgages. That's
Oh,
where-
yeah. Well, that's...
She was very good at that too. So, and she made good money.
Yeah.
I was like, sure you want to quit that? Oh. So, anyway, now she's doing good.
That's good.
So.
That's good. Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about like how I didn't put my kid in to your mom's class because I didn't want him to try to like take advantage of knowing her and being like, oh, that's my friends, or we're friends with her, blah blah blah. And I think your son Jeremy was
Yeah.
the same way, right? We did not want her.
We just, there was no, I mean, he would probably be okay, but he would, I don't know if he would be like more a mama's boy kind of thing, but it would just be like, I think he would try to take advantage of the fact that his mom was his teacher. And so we're just like, and she didn't want to have to go through that either. So
Yeah.
she's like, no way, we'll just split it up. But
So piggybacking off of that, like your mom taught you both, right? Mm-hmm. And that was her choice to do so.
Right.
So did you guys get any special treatment, or do you think that she taught you guys? Was she harder on you guys maybe because you were her kids, or like any kind of things like that?
I think for me, it was just like, I don't have that many memories of it, but she's a kind of person that just like gives motherly love to any of her students. So like, it kind of felt like they, instead of like me becoming more like a student, it was like they became more like my siblings, if that makes sense. Because she, you know, when we got to school, it wasn't that she was like parenting me anymore. It was like she was like, okay, this is school mode now, but it wasn't that different than my mom, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it was like she transitioned from parenting us to parenting all of these other kids as well. So it was kind of like, oh, now I just have a bunch of other siblings in the room, which is interesting.
Were there some of the siblings you didn't like?
Yeah. Sure. That's, yes.
sure.
There would be talks at dinner time. Yeah, when the rest of the siblings weren't there.
The other siblings didn't get invited to dinner. Huh?
Right.
Okay.
We'd have to feed all of them. Thank goodness.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I would say from her side, nothing really was different treatment wise between home life and school life. I definitely used it to my advantage though.
How so?
In the sense of I knew how to get away with things at home, so I knew how to get away with things in the classroom, and
Nice.
it was just easy to carry over. I don't know.
That's the first
But
you're
I
hearing
just
about
be in
this? Is
trouble.
that what you're saying?
Just now hearing about this.
But I mean, I got my chores done at home. I got my work done at school.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you can't ground him anymore.
I can.
Don't give him any ideas. He still pays for all my Netflix and
Oh, yeah, that's true.
phone,
Get grounding from
life
Netflix.
insurance that I don't want to be paying for yet.
We changed the password.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Did you guys remember being like kings of the school in elementary school? Teacher kid kings of the school? I know my kids think they are.
Did that help out?
Was that a thing, or is that kind of, with the other teacher kids that were there?
I don't know about Kings of the School. It was just like we just formed this weird little club like after school, and we were just like in the library playing these random games, and it was this weird assortment of kids of different ages that we wouldn't have been friends otherwise.
Sure.
But we were all just like stuck there, and we didn't want to just sit there, so we all just hung out and became friends. But it almost seemed like we were just like after school friends. Like during the day, it wouldn't be like, oh, like we're best friends for at least some of them. But we formed good friendships with a few of them, which was nice. Yeah.
Well, we got to the point when we're staying after school's over for another 2 hours. You're hanging out with the same group of kids 2 hours every single day. So yeah, we were pretty close. One of them still to this day is one of my best buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
Yeah, we just went to a wedding for a sibling.
But, yeah, I wouldn't say kings of the school, but we did. We definitely terrorized after hours, and we would explore and go places we weren't supposed to. And
Oh, for sure.
I think we found places in that school that some people had never seen, and
Nice.
it was fun.
Like weird, creepy basements, and we'd make up stories about how it was like where they hid all the kids that they didn't like, you know, like it was all dark and gloomy and yeah, a lot of exploring in our old school.
Nice.
Yeah.
So was your mom mean at times? If you were bad, did you get reprimanded?
It's okay to say these things. You're in a safe place here.
Yeah.
And
Plus
then
you're-
the rest of the world will
Plus
hear
you're
it afterwards.
adults, so that whole thing.
And nobody listens. So 3 things. You got lots of anonymity.
People listen,
Oh,
okay?
people do listen. That's true.
Yeah. Namely the wives.
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any distinct memories. I think it's just like funny how the power of elementary school discipline is like move your clip down, and it's like a clip, a wooden clip on a piece of paper, and then you cry over moving it down. You know, just crazy stuff like
Wait,
that.
so you have to explain what's that mean? Moving it down.
It's like a behavior chart, so it's just this big hanging, like, I don't even know if they do this anymore, but like everybody's names are on good for the day, and if you like do something bad, you have to move like your clip down to the like red square that's like, or it's like yellow first and it's like not doing so hot, and then if you move it down, it's like you're doing really bad, and like it says it on there, and so everybody can just see your name down there while everybody's like up, and like
And you have to move it down yourself?
right, yeah, you have to get up and go move it down.
It's like the shame.
It's like,
Yeah.
you go move your clip. So the whole class, oh, and they have to stand up and walk over with their head hanging. And
Right. And then there's the opposite where it's like raise your clip up and it's like you get a piece of candy if you get all the way to the top. And I think I was one of those kids that was like frequently, you know, a top flyer, but there was a few times.
She's like, no big deal, guys.
Subtle flex.
Subtle 9-year-old flex. I think there was a few times where she might have had to like look at me and be like, move your clip down. And it was just like, oh,
How dare you?
dare you. Like we were friends.
I know you were talking about one time about how she was teaching some lesson and then you had to like basically like raise your hand during the lesson or when it was all done, basically in front of the class.
Yeah, what happened? Tell us.
Yeah, I distinctly remember this, which is kind of sad. There was this lesson that she was teaching about fractions, and I don't know. 9-year-old me was crazy. But she was explaining this lesson, and I think it came to a point of like, well, if you think about it, like a sixth is smaller than an eighth because of some reason, and I was like, I don't think that's right. It's like, and so here's 9-year-old me like drawing pictures on my paper and being like, I don't think what she's saying is right, but how do I say that? And so I just asked her a question. I was like, what, like, would it be this? Would it be that instead? And she just kind of looked at the board and then like looked back at me and was just like, oh, well, yeah, so we're gonna move on from math today. And like then it was like we got home and she told him and she's like, I had to totally redo my whole lesson because told me. And then of course like I'm crying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And she's like, no, like I wasn't the one in the wrong. So it was just, that's a funny memory that we laugh about because
Yeah, she laughs every time. She thinks it's hilarious. I'm sure.
oh man,
Because she's fallible, huh? That's what she's saying. Huh?
oh
It's possible.
no.
That's pretty funny.
At least you didn't taunt her in class in front of people like,
Yeah.
go move your clip down, Mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that would
like so do I get a piece of candy or what?
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Your candy.
Oh.
Did your do you guys have a different view, you think, of education with your mom being a teacher than maybe, I don't know, maybe your friends do probably, or what, maybe what you would, there's so many things that I probably would have never thought about being now a teacher husband as far as, whatever it is, like my political leaning might be this, but when it comes to education, it's much more the other way or whatever it is. Do you guys have something that you kind of think about with that, especially when you're talking about the election and all those kinds of things, like, bond issues or anything like that? Like what your view of education, like how do you kind of quantify that with how your mom was as a teacher, is a teacher?
I don't know if it changes my view on the education part as much, but how it's delivered, the methods of teaching, and the respect for teachers who really do care about students. Those are big things that stood out to me going forward because I knew how much work she put in. And then I would go to teachers the following years and see the difference and the impact that it made when she put in that effort. So I guess that was really the biggest thing that I noticed, especially going into college and everything the last few years. Just the way college professors are, the ones I had experienced at least, just seemed like they were the last ones in the door, first ones out.
Yeah.
Didn't care about you, didn't care about being there. They get paid either way. If you show up, who cares? So it made me lose interest in school a lot. But yeah, when we had somebody who cared enough or cared as much as our mom did when she was teaching us. And I mean, you can ask any one of our students after us, they would probably say the same thing. Like when somebody cares that much, you feel it when you're being taught.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think also, like, it makes you think more about what they have to do outside, especially, like, waiting after school every time for her to get this ready and grade that and put this PowerPoint together and, like, make it engaging. And then I remember just going into high school and, like, the teachers that would come with these, like, fully formed lesson plans that were fun, and they would make stuff. And I feel like people would just kind of ignore that and not realize that they don't have time in their day just to do that, especially elementary teachers. Like they can't get that all done in a day. It's not a 9 to 5 and then they just leave. It's like a 9 to 5, then I go home and grade while I'm with my family, and I have to go in early to do something else. So it's like when they put in the extra mile, like you recognize it, and I think it makes you like more grateful to be there rather than like, oh, the teacher's making us do this. Like, no, they did this for a reason.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you think watching that, and now that you guys are going to school, did you guys ever have ambitions of wanting to be a teacher, or was that enough to like scare you away from wanting to be teachers?
I had thought about it for a second, just, I mean, because we were around it so much, it just kind of clicked in my head, especially coming right out of school, not knowing what I wanted to do. The easiest thing was, I'll just go right back into school, you know?
Yep.
But after I started thinking more into it, I was like, I could really get tired of this and say some things I shouldn't to kids that are shouldn't hear it. So
Yeah, no, I don't think I could do elementary school. Like, I love children and I have compassion for children, but especially when they start getting like closer to that middle school age and they're like not toddlers. Like, I love little kids because, you know, they're just kind of helpless and fun. But when they get older, it's just like, oh, you're me now. And dealing with like 30 of them at one time, I have not the patience for that. And I feel like I'm just like, oh, I don't want to stand in front of that many kids. They're all judging me. Like, something's gonna go wrong, especially in middle school and high school. Like, kids are mean and they don't care. Like, the ones that, it's bad.
And the next hour, you've got a whole new wave to deal with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of kids. Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah. So have you been to your mom's class ever? I mean, we all know I haven't. So have you? What's going on there? I mean, is it like what it was when you were there earlier, or has she changed stuff?
I think the sad thing is that curriculum changes so much that they have to reset like every single year pretty much. So sometimes I'm baffled about the things that they're learning. Like, they were doing beginning algebra in 4th grade, and I was like, I didn't learn this stuff until I was a 6th grader probably, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you have to teach this now, because not only do the kids have to learn more, but now the teachers have to learn more and learn how to teach it, and it's just like, oh my gosh. But, you know, the same kind of fun, and it's all still there. Like, all of the games that she plays, all the Fun Friday stuff. Like, I just went to their Thanksgiving like meal that they have at lunchtime, and they had like 50 people in this tiny classroom, and it's just like she makes all this fun and magic for them still that was still present when, you know, she taught me, which was the first class she did by herself. So That's crazy.
You see that, Kyle?
Good.
She goes back to the school and you don't.
How does it make
I
you
didn't
feel?
know what school she teaches at. I went to the Thanksgiving dinner a couple years ago, and I think that could have been partially what ruined me on ever going again, because there was definitely a fire hazard in that room. I mean, not to incriminate, in her room.
Because of all the warm love going through.
There was 1,000 people in that room. I don't know. Nobody could sit down. I don't know how they ate. I could barely get in the door. It was wild. I think you guys were both there when I was there. That one was, I'm like, this is too much. I can't, no way.
That's the thing. I always pick. It's always like Christmas party day when I go. which is like the worst day ever because it's 2 hours before they're gone for 2 weeks and they're just insane. And I look at her like, this is how they are all the time. And then, then I get the whole, classroom management. Oh, I'm not a good classroom management teacher, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, no, I know that you got it taken care of, but
Just not today.
Just not today. And they don't care. They're done too. They're like, all right, this is ridiculous. So, what about decorations in your mom's room? Has she always had like a theme? Does she change it? Does it stick the same year to year, give or take?
I'd say she has her corner that kind of stays the same theme wise. She's got her baby Groot, baby Yoda, all that
Okay.
stuff. She's got little like things she'll put up that the kids make her throughout the year. She'll hang in her little cubby. But other than that, I mean, she changes through the seasons. I went and helped her put up some Halloween decorations, and that was pretty fun. I mean, what does she have Thanksgiving up now?
Kyle, doing so much better
Yeah.
than you.
She just took all that down.
Yeah,
Well,
did
I'm sure
you share
Christmas is
that? Both
coming.
your kids go to the school.
I said that they do.
Okay, good. You're doing
I
something
told
you know.
right.
I don't know where she works anymore. I've lost it. I thought she switched schools. So
Yeah, that decorating thing is crazy too because it's not like, oh, it's fun. It's just gonna decorate. Like I think she went in like on a Sunday or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
To decorate to make sure that the kids had this special, and it's like
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't have to do that. And she's like, well, I want to. It's fun for them, so I want to do that.
It
and
is
it's
funny
like
you mentioned that.
it's
'cause
a whole experience instead of just like learning math facts.
while I was there, after I finished putting stuff up, a couple of the after-school teacher kids were running around, and they came to her classroom because one of them was one of our students.
The next
And
generation.
she's like, yeah. And she's, hey, come here. Shut the lights off. Come look at all the decorations we just put up. And they go, wow. And then the other kid that was with them, that was from another teacher's classroom, goes, man, I wish my teacher would do this.
It's like marketing. She's like trying to be like, I'm trying to recruit her next class to come in.
right.
she wants to get all the good kids. So
That's
she's
right.
yeah. That's her sales pitch throughout the year.
Well, we after the last episode, you had said to us, it was like the next day, right? You had found out that Leslie had got some kind of student thing.
One of her previous students who was what? He's
in
younger than
high
you
school
guys,
now, right?
He's in high, so he's a senior this
Senior,
year.
Yeah.
They all had to pick a teacher that was the most influential teacher for them,
and their whole school career.
Because he was graduating, and it was the senior night of football, and he invited her to the football game so that she could be recognized because she was the one he chose for the football game. So she was pretty stoked about that.
I bet.
Yeah, we found that out the night after next night after the podcast last time. So yeah, she was pretty excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Congrats to Leslie.
yeah,
Go, Leslie.
are you guys sad that you didn't have Anne and April in your career too? I mean, how fun would that have been?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really fun.
No,
Because
I
now
agree.
you get to see. Well, I know you haven't probably seen Anne's classroom, but you've seen April's for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not as mean as Leslie. I've heard
Oh, God.
she's much nicer.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
No, just being friends with them. I'm like, it's kind of, you can tell. I mean, you could tell with a teacher that just has, you're like, oh, they have the personality of a good teacher.
Oh, sure.
And you could just tell straight off with both of them. It's, yeah. So I would have loved to have them as teachers.
Yep. Anne's is all Harry Potter, and I don't think it will ever
really?
change, but
No.
because it costs too much money for room decor to change
Right.
year after year.
What you
I think,
pick, that's
I
it
think
for
that
your
was always
forever.
the thing. It's like, all right, this year I'm going to do it. I'm like, why? You already have the stuff, and they're new kids. They don't know, Like,
Right.
But yeah, the Harry Potter stuff.
At least you picked a theme that's lasted through the years.
Yeah,
It'd
that's right. It's not
real
really
awkward
gonna
if
go
she'd picked some
anywhere,
theme
yeah.
that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Some dumb movie series or something. The Wiggles. Everybody, you're doing the Wiggles theme.
Gross.
or whatever.
That's funny.
Did you ever, were you able to get, you mentioned we talked about this a little bit. Were you able to get away with some stuff because you knew that, like you mentioned, you knew how to get away with stuff at work. What were you able to get away with at school because you knew how to work your mom, I guess, because you were the teacher's kid? Was there anything you were able to get away with, which you can remember?
I don't know about get away with, but it was always like, well, I can go back in the teacher's lounge because I'm a teacher kid. And so it's kind of like looking in the face of like the other kids and being like, as you walk in there, you know? And it's like,
They're like,
that's where
"You
the
can't
ice
go in
cream
there."
bars are and all this stuff. Yeah.
Like, I'm going in there.
Right. I'm best friends with the principal. Right. I dap him up as I walk back.
You still do.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah. So, did you ever get in trouble at school and then have to, maybe not necessarily in your mom's class, but at school, and then have to have your mom, have a little talk afterwards? Can you think of anything like that?
I can't remember one time. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I did something on an assignment once, and I copied something, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but she caught me doing it. And I had a different teacher at the time, and she made me walk with her to the teacher after school had ended and confess everything and all of that. And I didn't end up getting in trouble. I mean, the teacher loved me too.
Just flashed her a smile and she just was like, oh,
In fact, I think she liked me more because it was you are such a respectful kid for being honest.
Right.
You got away with the bruises underneath your clothes.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Did you ever get in trouble later in school, not necessarily in elementary school? I can think of some stories
He
that
knows
I've
the
heard of
answer.
stuff that you
He's just
did that
testing
maybe
you.
you should have gotten in trouble for. Like certain classes maybe you had together.
The two of them just.
So we're such good siblings, right? We did have one class that the teacher loved us. She loved us.
Well, I paved the way for you.
Right.
Set that
Right.
straight.
He did set a good name for me. Like, what's your name? John Ralphio's sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He paved the way for me, but we had this one class and it was an AP class, and we were both in it, and we sat. Well, he had friends that sat in the back of the class, and I was a sophomore, but somehow I could take it with my friends, and he was. Were you a senior?
Yeah, we don't have to mention the gap. Let's just
It was not based on merit. It was just like an optional AP class. But anyway,
Small flex again.
but the teacher loves him, obviously, and so he sat in the back with his friends, and there wasn't a desk for him back there, but like his friends were back there, so he just sat with them. But when we had tests, like each person had to have their own desk, and so he would come and sit by me because there was an empty desk by me, and he would forget his calculator. I'm doing air quotes if you can't see that. He would forget his calculator, and we would be like, oh, you could share mine. And she's like, oh, you guys are so sweet, siblings. Like, she probably shed a tear. And then we pull out our tests, and then, the TI-84 calculators, they have letters on them. So it would be like, B, question mark? And 47 question mark, slide over the calculator. So we did really well on tests.
We did well on
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, you should tell them about the AP final for that class though.
Oh.
So let's not go there.
Well, it was the height of COVID. Okay, we were.
That was not the issue with that story.
Well, that was the issue with mine because I was a senior and we had senior ditch 3 months and I was not locked in. Anyways, they had us do our finals online, and it wasn't the final, it was the AP test.
Right.
Like the very end, and you get AP credits that go towards college credits, right? If you pass, and you have to get a certain score. Let's just say I did not pass, but I was joking around after we had gotten to the end, and this is the last thing I have to do, and then I'm out of school for good, and and so the timer's running down, and I finished this test, and I've still got 25 seconds to spare, so I'm done.
Mine's well submitted by this point.
I'm screwing around with the mouse, moving around the submit button, and then it's winding down 9, 8.
Because I'm like, dude, you gotta turn this in.
6, 5. So I hit submit, and it goes, "Are you sure you would like to submit?" 3, 2. Press the button, and I wasn't sure. I don't think it actually went through, and it didn't submit in time. So I had to send an email to the teacher, thank goodness she loved me so much, and say, "Hey, so here's the thing."
That face is burned into my memory. The priceless face of him. Oh, and I'm just laughing right next
This is
to
a
him.
stupid pop-up menu.
Oh, that was so funny. And you had to like Google how to
class
contact
was
the
eventful.
people, and
I talked
It's
one of
so bad.
my buddies in that class into putting mint chapstick on her eyelids,
oh gosh,
and
What?
you never heard this story?
No.
It's the
in
same
the
class.
middle of a lecture.
And it was in the middle of the lecture. She started crying. She had to stand up, and she was like yelling. And we had to stop and put everything on hold. And the teacher rushed her up to the front of the classroom, and she said, "I'm so excited. I've been teaching for what,
Like 25
25
years or
and
something."
I've never had to do this." And she got to use the eye washer thing and rinse out this chick's eyes. And I'm just sitting in the back of the classroom crying,
Filming the whole thing.
yeah, I was dying. Kamie's looking at me from across the room like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course it's me." And I didn't get in trouble for that either. That was fun.
Great.
It's all right.
Maybe we should, hopefully this doesn't get a big listener base.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff. from
This
the
one
kids.
might.
It's all right. She'll be done teaching soon.
I hope you guys still have diplomas.
I house sit for that lady, so
Oh,
we're on good
even
terms.
better. Good.
So we need to send her an invite to the
Yeah.
listen to this podcast.
Listen.
Right?
Yeah. She'd be like,
Yeah.
"How dare you?"
She loves.
Her response is, "I still got to use the eye thing."
Oh man.
Well, we've talked a lot about COVID on this show, I mean, even back a couple of years, but obviously, you guys, your experiences in high school and even your senior year of high school, seeing your mom teach, from the house, all that kind of stuff. How do you feel like that affected you guys? I mean, there's all these studies out there now about all these kids that missed that year, younger, obviously, where they're seeing this big decline in these kids that had that year where they weren't there. Do you guys feel like that was, I mean, obviously, what could a teacher do during that time? They didn't know. But do you feel like your teachers did as much as they could during that time? Or do you feel like it was pretty lacking from their side? Or
Some of them. I had a math teacher that just used Khan Academy and never talked to us. He just assigned things. And so I didn't really learn anything else. But then there was teachers that really tried hard, but then it was just like, yeah, I can't teach this. And so it was kind of just like those classes died down.
yeah,
Yeah, and then going back, there were teachers that really tried very hard because my junior year, we were in person just with masks the whole time, and then it transitioned to, online, and so they had to go back and forth with their lesson plans. But, the masks was hard because, especially if you're in a history class with a monotone teacher and you can't see his face like at all, barely hear him, he's muffled. I remember sitting in the front row and I fell asleep multiple times in that class, and he would I just wake up and he's standing right above me, which he would bang his yardstick on other people's desks if they were falling asleep, but he never did that to me because I think he liked me. But it was bad. I didn't take any notes because they'd all just scribble off. It was bad. COVID was rough.
Yeah, so you finished your senior year in COVID, so it was probably nice for you because you're like, woohoo, this is a nice little end to my senior year. But college was a different story for you guys. That probably sucked.
I will say finishing senior year, it was exciting because as seniors, we all were senioritis. We were done with school. So getting to stop 3 months early, that was super cool.
Yeah.
But I will say we missed out on a lot of graduation
Oh, yeah.
stuff that a lot of other classes, we had seen all these other classes and friends even from previous years who got to do all these cool things. And then ours, the teachers and the faculty tried to make the best of everything and the situations we were in, but it was hard because it felt like once COVID hit and we weren't at school anymore, it was like, okay, you guys are on your own now. And that's kind of when it all started.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was never really a set end to it. It just was like, I guess we're going to do this in a few weeks and we're going to do a graduation in a few months, I
Yeah,
guess.
the graduation was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful. And especially because I ran track, that part was rough too because I was really looking forward to that last season. And then finding out it was
Right.
done that was tough. But like you said, yeah, going into college the following semester, that was terrible for me. If I'm being honest, I was excited for the college experience. We had set up a dorm room with two of my buddies from high school. So we were going to go experience this college life all together. And then we got there, and they weren't sure how we were going to do it. We were in person for a few days, maybe a couple weeks, and then it just started spreading more and more, and then they eventually had to lock everything down. And that was the hard part, was having to finish your full course load every day or every week, staring at your computer in a dark room.
In the dorm the whole time.
Dorms, yeah.
Right, because they still want your money from room and board, so they're not going to be
Right.
like, go home.
And you were only allowed to go to your classrooms if it was open for that week or whatever, and the university like cafeteria area. And other than that, you could only go in your dorm cubby. You couldn't even go to other dorm rooms and visit other students that you met or were friends with. So, for example, my girlfriend was staying in another dorm at the time, and we had one of our RAs come into the room, and he saw that she was hanging out in there with us, and he said, "I need to see your ID to make sure you're part of this dorm." And she wasn't, and he had to kick her out. And
Yeah, and she never came back. That was the last time she was ever
Yeah.
in there. So
yeah, we were rule followers.
Good job.
Way to go.
Man.
that was good. Well, yeah, that sucked. You can imagine the COVID thing. It was great for us. I mean, I just worked from home, so but to have to not do all the graduation stuff was terrible. They only gave us two tickets that you could go watch your kid, 2 tickets per kid, and then they had to sit on the baseball field, and they were all 6 feet apart on the baseball. It was ridiculous.
What was it, June or
was so
July?
It was
Yeah.
July.
And it was
It was
so
hot.
Yeah.
I mean, May's bad enough, but yeah, July was terrible.
I bet.
But like prom was all there, so
That was dope. That was
Leslie threw a prom. She got together with several of the other moms, and we did a prom in our garage and on like in our subdivision.
She
with
hired a
lights and-
production team, like legit,
Yeah.
pulled up with this semi truck,
It was cool.
like yeah,
like Taylor Swift
DJ,
era.
everything. It
my
was
friends
crazy.
still talk about it to this day. That is the coolest dance we've been to, and it was one that my mom threw.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I acted as a chauffeur and got all dressed up and went and picked up all the kids and then brought them back to the house. And yeah, they had fun. It was cool, but at least we got to do some stuff to try to make up for it. But even during that COVID time, Leslie was, she missed the kids and being around the kids. So she was going to visit them from the car, and she would wave to them from the car. She'd say, "Hey, I'm at your house," or whatever. And so yeah, COVID was a bad deal. Yeah. And then to come to find out it wasn't even that bad. So like, damn it.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's weird times. That's going to be fun to look back on here.
Right.
Yeah.
Back in my day,
Yeah.
I had to do college online.
Yeah, you guys have it easy. Like
Right.
we were in school.
We survived COVID.
Right.
Well, one of the things we call, or that we look at sometimes here in the podcast, are teacherisms or teacher mannerisms, different things that you see teachers do. Was there anything that you saw your mom do that you're like, oh, that's her teacher thing that she did, like with the kids, or she got mad, or she was, or whatever? What was it?
Her go-to is, "Oh, I'm sorry." If they're making them mad, like she always does that, and like.
Is that what we're supposed to be doing right now?
Right. Right. It's always the, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it's the specific head tilt and everything where the kid knows, "Oh no, I'm in trouble." And I feel like that's really impactful from a teacher that's so loving and so kind all the time. To, if she gets mad at them, it's like,
Pump the
"Oh
brakes."
no, yeah, we're really in trouble now." Yeah.
Did any of that stuff translate to home? We're like, oh, God, this is the same at home as it is at school.
Well, I never got in trouble at home, so
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Right? It's getting those eyes.
we had a behavior chart in our kitchen. We had to move our clip down.
I wish that was true. I would have used it all the time.
Right.
Why didn't we have one?
Well, you would have needed one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right. Yeah. Your clip
I
would be
would-
on
yeah.
there as well.
Oh,
Would have been at the
sounds
bottom
much
all
fun.
the time.
yeah, I would have been at the bottom
Yeah,
for sure. I'd have tried to get there.
Just push the
Well,
button.
darn it,
Pushing
no
the
candy.
button. Yeah.
I've
You
got a
know
dog-
how to push the buttons. You would have been.
I've got adult money. I can buy my own candy. I don't need her good performance candy.
It's true. You didn't say
Probably
that.
tastes better.
My taxes pay your salary. You didn't say that or anything.
Wait, taxes. That would have worked out real well.
That would have gone over
She would
great.
love that.
wouldn't it?
Oh man. Another good one that these guys came up with was did your mom ever embarrass you at school? Anything that she did, you're like, oh no, mom, like she knew a little bit too much about you or something, or
We're finding that now with Anne because
Tinnifer, yeah.
There you go. Because she's an elementary teacher, but she's there in middle school. All of her friends like know Anne and so they like come up and she can't handle that. Tinnifer does not like that they're like, oh hi, and it's like they call her mom and stuff like that, and that bugs her. So, but anyway, yeah, think of that. So.
I don't know about in elementary school being embarrassed. I think it's
You can always be embarrassed by your mom. So if you come up with something, that's fine.
I think it's more like when you step into their school, it's like every teacher and every student is like, you're this person. I heard about this. Like you're just well known. And even like it spreads to the kids' parents too, where they're like, oh my gosh, you're her daughter. Like I've heard so much about you. And I don't know. It's like a lot of like personal stories get told of like, whether it's like encouraging moments for the kids that may be embarrassing for us or like when my daughter did this, she overcame it, and I'm like, okay, well, we didn't need to share that part of my life, but I don't know, not anything too bad.
No, not too much. Being recognized by people I've never met before is weird.
Right.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just being at work and having people strike up full conversations. How's this? How's that? And I have no idea who they are, but I answer their questions. That's
Because you've met them or they know who your mom is?
I
and they
can't
know?
remember if I've met
Yeah,
them,
that's
but most of
probably
the
what it
time
is,
it's
yeah.
because
because their pictures are everywhere in the
Oh, yeah,
classroom.
that's
so,
true,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
and if it's not from mother, it's from grandma. The stories are being
Sure.
told. So.
true. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got that too.
And that's like all over the valley too.
Did you ever have your grandmother as a
yeah.
sub? Because I know she subs.
Yeah.
Was
Oh,
she?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Was that? Did you get some special treatment then? Because
I'm sure you did.
She does chuck candy at you.
Right. I feel like if anybody, she would give the special treatment, because then you'd be like, well, that one's my granddaughter. And you'd be like, mm-hmm. And like, she was the it sub, like, because she gave candy, she was fun. So it's like, oh my gosh. I'd be like, yeah, well, not only is she just a sub, she's my grandma. And they're like, what? And it's like, you get clout from that, like little kid clout. Yeah.
Little kid club.
Little Kid Clout. That sounds like a good episode title. It's not a movie title, but it's
It's a
good.
band name.
It is.
I like it.
It is.
Little kid clout.
Yeah.
That is
You
pretty
guys need
funny.
t-shirts like
Yeah.
Little Kid Clout.
Teacher Kid Clout. Yeah,
Teacher Kid Clout.
There you go.
That's funny.
Do you think your mom, because she was a teacher, that caused you to be a better or a worse student? Like you were around school so much, like, ugh, I'm not going to do this, or it was ingrained in you because you had to.
I think it kind of put me right in the middle where I knew what to do to stay on top, but what I could get away with not doing.
Right.
Watching her have to grade or give out assignments and then hearing about what's really important or what's the goal when you're doing this assignment. It's not necessarily how the kids perform, but how they're thinking through this certain thing. Just knowing that going into high school was super helpful, because then I was like looking for what does the teacher want out of me, not what's the right answer. And then once I established that in all my classes, I knew how to be in each class and what to say, how to schmooze the teacher, and it just made life easy.
Right, because you learn their personalities change the way they teach so much. And like every teacher is different and what they want and what they're expecting. And yeah, so you can kind of work the system in that aspect.
Yeah. There were teachers that loved it if I just kept my head down, shut my mouth, and did my work. And so that's all I would do. And they thought it was awesome. And then I'd go to the very next class and I would just be talking the whole time and chatting with the teacher even, getting them in on the conversations. And they loved me and got no work done, but we had a great time.
Well, that's good. So it sounds like yes. Yeah, it did.
The short answer is yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Leslie. You taught my kids how to work the system.
Work it well.
Yes.
I would like to add.
And excel. Yeah. Good.
Right.
Oh, good. All right. Well, do you have any advice for any future teacher kids?
Oh, there you go. Younger teacher kids.
Appreciate your mom. she works hard. Yeah. But also just like going forward, I think a lot of times, especially in middle school, it's easy to just see teachers as being like, oh, they suck. You know, like they do this and it's bad and whatever. But you have to realize that they have lives outside of, and I feel like a lot of people just think about like their teachers are just like, that's the one track mind. All they do is teach. But, you know, they have kids too. So it's kind of cool to like, which may be a form of work in the system if you learn about their families and stuff. But it's just like the closer that you are with your teachers, the easier your experience will be. Because then they know you as a person instead of just like a number. You know, especially in high school, if they can be like, oh, like, I love this person. Especially coming in as like a younger sibling. Because they talk about my older brother and be like, oh, like I remember him, like he was my pal, and then you're automatically in. So it's just like, you know, if you make relationships with your teachers,
Sounds like you'll be thanking your brother too.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
No, John Ralph, you know?
Right.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just really cool when you treat and you view your teachers as people too, because kind of adding on to what you said, the more you're an actual person, the more they see it as that, and the more you see your teacher as an actual person, instead of, like you said, just a drone that hands out work. Because everything that they give you, they're giving to everyone else, and then they got to take home and grade. So just as much homework as you have, they have that times however many kids you have in their class. So a lot of kids do forget the respect part and just, oh, I hate my teacher, I hate that they're doing this and that. But they have to do that too. So
Right, and they're being graded on how well they grade too.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
just this whole hierarchy. So they were going through too.
Yeah. Who was your favorite teacher? Obviously besides your mom.
Yeah.
I had quite a few, I would say. Through middle school, I mean, one of them for sure was Miss Flick. My 7th grade lit teacher was one. The only issue I had, and I know that you're going to have an issue with this too, but she liked to kick the shoes off during class. And so the dogs were out.
That would have kept her. That would have kept her from being my favorite teacher right there.
But
Like,
she loved me. She taught like how my mom did, so everything clicked. She was somebody I could go to after school even and ask for help with. And I feel like a lot of teachers, especially in that middle school age when you're all awkward, it's hard to find an adult that you're able to feel comfortable doing that with. So that was one that was really cool. I mean, in high school I had a whole bunch because there is a lot more freedom to make friends with your students and teachers than there is when there's such a big age gap from elementary and everything like that.
Yeah, I think that teachers that I was closest to throughout my career were like probably like the arts teachers, like my choir teachers and stuff like that, because I was, you know, those are smaller classrooms and it's more like you see them throughout a course of a few years. I remember I had a teacher in high school who was awesome, and he also taught at CMU, and I still have a friend group that taught. We have a group chat on Snapchat that's like his name, this guy's fan club, like that's our group chat because it's just like our class group chat. But he was just so fun. And I think that's the difference, is when teachers can just be real with you instead of being like, I don't know, we just have to get this done. And I feel like students are more inclined to listen when they know more about you. And so like sharing that is important. And I think that's why like our mom students feel so close to her, because she talks about her life so much. And like that's impactful for kids, because then they want to do well for you because they know you as a person and they feel like they're let into your realm, your world, and that you actually like care about them because you're telling them about stuff that's going on in your life. And just like being real and having fun, which is also hard. But I like that relational part. I think it's easier to make friends in high school because it's less of the discipline. I mean, it's kind of harder discipline, but it's not like, this is how I have to teach you how to be a person first. And then, you know, it's less of the discipline and more of the actual academic work, especially for the kids that are actually there to like try hard and do well. So you make good friendships. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to talk to them when you're closer with them, like you said. And then it makes it easier. It makes it easier for the teacher side of things, like you were saying, for the disciplinary stuff, because discipline can just be something as simple as like, hey man, come on, like, what are you doing? And then it's like, okay, yeah, you're right, I'll start acting right, instead of, you know, a continuous, we're having this conversation again, you need to leave, because I've definitely heard that before between teachers and oh yeah.
Yeah, and when they treat you as like people instead of like children too.
Yeah, that's a big thing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Because, yeah, kids know they're in the wrong in high school. I mean, for the most part, they know that they're trying to be annoying, so they know what they're doing is bad. So if you're like, that's wrong, like, that's bad, then they're like, well, yeah, duh, I know I'm just doing it to annoy you.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's working, instead of being like, you know, you're being dumb. Like, let's bring it back. Come on, be real. Yeah. And the teachers that can, like, fight back a little bit and just be sassy, like, those are the ones
That's fun.
that kids like. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
We've got a special guest. He's working hard.
what's that?
We got a special guest.
Yeah.
Is it your nurse?
It is.
Should we talk about why your nurse is here?
We should. She's going to fill us in on something going on.
Oh.
Anne is here. Were you taking a nap? Not yet. She was working.
Because she's off.
Yeah.
She can nap if she wants to.
We talked about it, I think, last week at Darts, but Anne's going to let us know what's going on.
Okay. Let us know.
Hit it, Ann.
Hello. One of the dearly beloved guinea pigs died this week.
No. The rodents.
One of
Do you have a rodent funeral?
One of
guys
them.
are
We
all
did.
Oh.
We 100% did.
had a rodent funeral?
Absolutely.
Was it like a Viking funeral?
No.
We set it down the canal.
Set it on fire.
Fired the arrow at the canal.
No, it was
Bagpipes.
so sad because it happened while the kids were in there, you guys.
No.
And I didn't even notice.
Every detail.
Did you hear like a thump? Or
One of
It didn't fall out of the cage. It's on the wheel.
no, one of the kids came and told me. They were like, Mrs. Luna's not breathing or moving.
I poked her a few times.
Can you go check on her?
Oh, no.
So I did. She was not alive.
Did you perform rodent CPR?
I did not. It was clear that she had not been with us for a
Rigor
while.
mortis? Rigor mortis? Is that how you say it?
Rick and Morty? What?
Rigor mortis?
Rick and Morty. So she, I thankfully it was specials time. So I took the children to specials and came back and dealt with the situation.
I thought there were
How'd you
two
deal with
rodents.
Did you just put
There
paper
are.
over
So
it?
only one died?
Only one of the
little
two
grave.
died.
I thought you were finally free of the rodents.
No,
Oh.
no.
So where is the is he up on the refrigerator right now?
She is at one of the students' houses for a
dead one?
break. No.
Could you
She
please
stuffed
discover
it in
it
her-
home? Bury it in
Someone
your
who wants to
backyard?
take the dead rodent home.
Who wants to bury this in the backyard? The kids are all me.
Oh no, we did have a funeral for her.
In the bathroom? Did you flush her?
No. she's real chunky.
Okay, let me ask this. Did you bury the actual rodent?
Or did you just tell
You
me?
guys are gonna get me in trouble.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Aaron
I definitely
did not throw
boxed
the dumpster.
her up and decorated her coffin.
My goodness.
Actually, the children wrote her notes on wrapping paper that we
So she could
wrapped
read
the
them?
box in. There were a lot of tears. A lot of tears.
Oh my goodness.
we took her out back and I dug a hole
Is your voice cracking?
in
Tears of joy.
there was an old garden out back on the property, and so we dug a hole and I buried her in there. Multiple children brought bouquets of flowers for her
Stop it.
and wrote her lots of notes. It was one of the worst things I've been through as a teacher.
Sounds awesome.
Are we replacing her?
Oh.
So I did not have any plans to. No. And
You didn't get
then
donated one?
the mom who took her home this week. So the family that took her home for this Thanksgiving break, the mom is a teacher at the school also, and informed me that there might be a second one coming back when they return.
Punch her in the mouth?
I did not. I told her at this point I don't even care, because I'm pretty sure at the end of this year that I'm gonna give them to a family who wants them, because
A
they
nice
think
farm upstate.
We're going to the train station.
yeah, because I genuinely don't think I could go through that again, watching my class lose their beloved guinea pig.
I think the best part to it, what I heard was one of the kids said, because they don't know how old when she got them, she didn't know how old they are. And so they live like 5 to 8 years. And so there's no way to know how old they
Yeah.
were when she got them. And so one of the boys in her class said, well, the other one is probably the same age, so it could probably die tomorrow, like that. Very astute for sure.
It's gonna be a fun Thanksgiving for that kid that took it home.
Exactly. Oh, no.
I do have to say that was the one thing I was very thankful for, is that this did not happen at the home of the child who was already
That's
planning
the best
to.
case scenario as far as I'm concerned. They only have one kid traumatized.
Well, you probably would have got bullied. You killed our guinea pig.
That's
Exactly. And I have a young one in my class this year who is very emotionally attached to these guinea pigs. And she happened to be absent the day that all of this happened. And I was actually very thankful, because she couldn't blame me or anybody else in the class for what happened.
That's tragic.
Jeremy's going to be sad.
We came.
I'm going to be.
We played darts one night, and the guinea pigs were here. We were playing with the guinea pigs.
They were up here, just up on top of the freezer.
On the freezer.
Yeah,
'cause it's
not
warm up
in
there.
the freezer. We're not. Yeah,
They were in a cage.
that was the other one. Yeah, that was
The other one's
It's a
still
huge
in
the
there.
other one still.
Jamie,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. So yeah,
It's like, you took those.
there
home,
we go. Yeah.
Those rodents. I'm like, there is no way.
Oh, yeah,
rodents would
that
come
was
to
a
the
good.
house.
Yeah, if you're new to the podcast, that was one of the best episodes I think ever, when we talked about the rodents and Kyle not even having it happen.
No,
would have never
not-
happened.
never. Never. Mona Lisa brought home a dog with Leslie. They surprised me. I'm doing air quotes with the surprise.
That dog that you love and adore now,
hate that
that you
dog.
cuddle with
I
every night.
have not seen much love from him for that dog. Anytime I come over, yeah.
Just come over for 2 hours.
Oh
at
yeah, it's
dinner
true. It
time.
is a
Right.
very short
Yeah.
window, and then the dog disappears.
Can't stand that dog.
Is he feeding it like from his mouth to the dog's
Right,
mouth?
the
Yes.
popcorn.
Yeah.
There was one story.
With a little
There
tongue
was-
too.
There was so
not
much
true.
popcorn that got fed to my dog from you know who. That I took him on a walk and he pooped on the sidewalk, and it was like an explosion. I had to bring out paper towels in front of a neighbor's house. It was so bad.
And water had to.
Yeah.
Try to clean it off.
So their ring camera, I'm just like,
Yeah. Did you see that Instagram video of that dog that ate all those Orbeez?
yes.
Oh man!
Oh, it's so bad.
Just thousands of Orbeez this dog is pooping out.
That's terrible.
What was so funny? I made me think of, like, I resisted getting a dog for
14 years.
14 years, and the dog we have now I love. So she was taking care of me today while I was laid up in bed with my surgery. Yeah, so she's a good dog.
standing
She's
guard.
making sure.
That would
That's
not
so
have been
fun.
our dog.
No.
Our dog would have been like, ugh.
She has been very
off, you're
concerned about
lazy.
me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That's bad. The poor dog's like, what's happening to me? It's terrible.
So why would your dog be concerned for you? What happened?
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. Hey, thanks to Ann, everybody.
Thank you for that.
Thanks, Ann.
Yay.
The
An update.
That was an Ann update. And that's pretty good. I have to think about that. Oh, well, let's see. Get comfortable here, right?
Yeah. Get your leg elevated.
I had it. Oh man, it's all I can do. 2 weeks ago, no, just over 2 weeks ago, I guess. Yeah, it was at the concert that Jason didn't go to. He neglected to go.
I would have been
declined.
injured as well, probably.
You would have been
Probably.
injured as well.
True. True. It's a
Kyle
team.
was there. Mona Lisa was watching our kids at our house during that.
Yes, I was.
So I was.
Supposed to be doing art.
Oh yeah. Oh, we never got any art. Yeah.
true.
I don't know what happened. That's
I don't know what happened either.
It's Tinnifer's fault. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Leave it. I was, I guess, raging pretty hard to some Blink
were.
182 or something.
I saw it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of it. I
You
was
were all
going
but
hard.
moshing.
I was not moshing for sure, but I was using
Dancing
Anne.
aggressively.
I was using Anne as like a pogo stick, basically. On
That's an interesting
jumping
image.
up on her shoulders. You know how you do when you're going
Yeah,
hard.
you know how you do.
182.
Where was the one? Yeah, how you do 182? I don't remember if it was. I don't remember who it was. I think it was them though. Anyway, came down and ruptured my Achilles tendon. So, and then waited about 2 weeks. You know, because I thought it might be just a strain or something. And then went to the doctor Tuesday, and then met my surgeon Wednesday, and then had surgery Friday. So in like 2 days. And yeah.
Work quick.
He worked quick. Well, yeah, he's never gonna get. So I don't care. So he's like a 14-year-old Doogie Howser, redhead.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure it was his first surgery. He did great, though. I mean, really, very well. But
results to be seen.
results to be seen. But yeah, he's definitely was his first or second surgery that he's ever
Might
done.
be a high jumper now. Who knows?
Tightened it up real good. Yeah. So no,
Wind it up.
he was a super nice guy, but it was like, man, I kept asking him if I should ask him for like a discount, like a first 5 surgeries discount
Are
or
you still in
something.
your residency?
Yeah, I think no, he finished it. So we figured he was at least
Did your mom drop you off at work?
27, I think. So no, so I am non-weight bearing for another week and a half, and then I can't drive for another 6 weeks after that because it's my right foot. And Mona Lisa tried to get me to drive with my left foot, but it's not going to happen.
Just cross your legs.
Just cross my legs.
That was a good
Can you
idea.
ride a scooter to work? Just one of
I
those-
want. Well, here's the thing.
scooters?
So obviously I met my deductible, so I just need to get like a medically whatever and get it paid
You have
for.
a month left.
Get a
I do.
little rascal.
I know. I don't want a rascal. I'm going to have to stand up on, but just on one foot.
Just pop your foot up over the
pop my foot
handlebars.
out when I go, and yeah. So it's very annoying, but so yeah. So we determined Kyle's the common denominator when it comes to injuries and concerts because Jason's got his from Kyle being there.
Sure.
Kyle was present at this one.
In my defense, I was nowhere near either of you when you got injured. I remember distinctly when each one of those happened for both of you. I could see it happening, and I was not involved. So, although I was there in attendance,
And also, I will say this: Jason was pseudo involved because they were his shoes that he gave me.
Great.
Oh, it's
Maybe
the
it's the
shoes.
It was the shoes I was not
It's the
used
same
to. I
shoes
think
you were
so.
wearing when you got hurt.
Oh,
Right,
probably.
you tried to hide it.
so it's
was.
your
It's different.
shoes. That's what it
Those
was.
are different shoes.
different
by the way.
shoes. After he
Real
tore his ACL, I was like, I'm not wearing those shoes again. I'm gonna give them to this
I'm
guy.
gonna give them to someone else.
Yep, that's right. I forgot that. So, there you go. Good.
Well, so Jeremy's laid up.
Laid up.
No
so everyone
darts-
came to
no
me.
darts for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in Jeremy's garage today.
Yep. It works fine.
Yeah.
Everything sounds the same.
I feel like you could probably play darts fine. don't know
I
why he's
probably
being-
could. I'd have to stand. I can't stand up for very long though.
You might be on drugs.
Get a really tall chair.
Tall chair. Oh, see, I don't know. Lots of ideas.
thinking,
yeah.
yeah.
It's good. Or maybe
They can
just
hold
get like
you up
a
like
sub.
a child.
No, let's not go crazy.
Yeah, I'll have each of them stand on either side of me and hold me up like
gotta use one of the
Weekend at
arms to
Bernie's.
throw.
It. Yeah. I should be good. Next week, I should be able to put it into like a walking boot and then be on it. So we'll see. It's fun. Cool. It's fun waiting 42 years to have some kind of surgery and then having one. So, You ever had anything?
Yeah, I had to have my ankle replaced.
Did you?
I was out for 5 weeks. It was terrible. I thought it was gonna be awesome.
Just
And the
laying
first
up
week,
and watching.
yeah, this is great. My wife just brings me toast or whatever, and get to watch TV. And then week 2 was like, I'm kind of bored.
She's over it
And
too.
then
Oh yeah.
and then week 3 I was like, I'll go back to work. I don't care how much pain it's in. I can't stay around. It was terrible. And
That-
was
yeah.
another. I called work so often to make sure that everything was going good that my DM had to call me and be like,
Stop.
Kyle, stop calling work. It's fine.
Everything's
We've got it taken care of. I'm like, I'm just making sure. Because I have to hit quarter. He's all, no, you don't. You're on disability. It's fine. So,
If you think about it, you're the common denominator out of 3 injuries. Then
but I was at that one.
Because you were.
because you were there.
Oh my god.
True.
All right. Well,
I'm like a walking wrecking ball. You guys are
Walking-
in trouble. Watch out.
I don't think a wrecking ball needs to be walking. It's just a wrecking ball, right?
Yeah. Well, true.
It's fine. It's good. So.
I was just standing there, or was sitting down. I think both instances I was sitting down and observing. And when
Yes, you were observing.
when the
yeah.
lady came from out of nowhere, and when Jason was walking out of the pit and took out his knee, all 85 pounds of her.
Did she hit you with like a lead pipe or like what happened?
No, just her
It
shoulder,
was just a little nudge.
just in the wrong way though.
It just happened to be the right everything.
There was so
John
much
Ralphio was
angst.
there.
John
He saw it.
Ralphio had to help me carry me out. So thank you.
Yeah. John
Anytime.
Ralphio and his friend were there. Yeah, so he can vouch that I was nowhere near Jason when it happened.
That was the second injury I was a part of with you.
Oh, that's right.
The fun
It's a
run.
family thing.
run.
Thanksgiving fun run we did. Oh, that was bad too.
Why do you have to bring up other injuries that I was a
Not
part
the
of?
not
made
so
it a
fun
block.
run.
Also,
No,
Kyle
It was
involved.
like a half mile.
What shoes were you wearing, Jason?
It might have been the shoes.
Might have been. Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely
Don't
not the
say it.
shoes. It was the sidewalk.
I had a different pair of. I had running shoes on that one,
Okay.
not like my normal shoes.
I don't think it made a difference the type of shoes.
Oh, I'm just
It had
pointing
to
it
do
out
with
there. We
the-
can't blame my shoes because
Again. Yeah.
The incline of the sidewalk.
It was the terrain for sure.
Yeah.
It was some
it
rough
was
terrain.
rough.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were trail running. It was definitely a sidewalk
It had been paved sidewalk with a
Right.
driveway.
with a real gradual slope.
It's not gradual when you're going fast.
That is true. We
So
were moving
fast.
pretty quick.
We barely even saw you get injured.
How did you not? I did like a roll and everything.
It happened so fast.
It was quick.
Yeah, that was a fun
You guys
Thanksgiving
were
for
ahead.
you.
You guys were way up there.
Well, they had to run back.
Oh yeah.
Then it was a fun Thanksgiving. Then we just sat in my tailgate, and
Tailgated.
I think we literally, just drank some beers and tried to numb your pain with booze.
Yeah.
And then you went to the hospital.
I didn't actually go. I went back to my family's house and was like trying to deal with that while I was in pain there. And then I finally was like, I can't. I gotta go to the doctor.
Was it on Thanksgiving that you went?
It was on Thanksgiving.
Great. Yeah. And then you got hurt at the concert, and then April was real. She's like, great. I'm so happy that you hang out with Kyle. Every time you hang out with him, you get hurt. We have to hit our deductible.
I'm sure she worries every time I come over for podcast night.
Podcast or darts. Yeah, there's been several instances where he's reaching for a dart and we're worried something is
Yeah.
going to happen. Because
Literally, reaching over.
no,
the
not
line
even
to go
that.
up.
Just like tweaking his knee
yeah, no, nothing
several
extreme
times.
like that.
Yeah,
Or just throwing.
throwing in general.
I get real excited.
Yeah,
There was one time he pulled a muscle
Yeah.
throwing. I think it was a hamstring or something. He's like, my leg.
It hurt for days. Thank you.
You think we're joking? This
it's not.
it happened. It's a
did
dangerous
happen.
sport,
It is.
especially when you're really trying hard.
Yeah.
Hey, when you do extreme sports like that,
That's right.
There's risk involved.
Those are the only sports I know how to do.
The extreme ones.
The extreme ones.
Yeah.
Right. Moshing and
Moshing and
jogging
darts.
and
We have
darts.
I
that's
invented freestyle running.
Oh, yeah. And that.
so let me bring
That
this
should
up
be the
to-
name of the podcast, I think.
Freestyle
I
running?
invented freestyle running. We're going to change the name, I think.
I'm gonna start a new one.
Yeah.
Without you guys, without you jerks.
And then
just you
talk about-
describing
yeah,
how
my
freestyle
time
running.
inventing it.
There's
It's
no
going to be
video
like an
involved.
anthology of just what you remember as you came up with it. And-
People calling in asking questions about freestyle.
yeah, that's right.
How would you take this 45 incline?
You have regulars that are calling in too. Hey, Jason, I was out at the skate park.
It's April with different voices.
You're doing so great. So it's the holidays.
It's the
Change
holidays.
the subject, but I want to make sure we get this in. Does your school or your wife's school have a holiday party, like a Christmas
Oh,
party?
yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
For employees, not kids.
From place. Yeah.
For the
For
employees,
staff.
not for the kids,
Okay.
for staff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? This
Well,
year?
this is year 3 of it. Remember, like we talked about, it's at my work.
Oh, it's at okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
yeah, I remember
At the
last
club.
year. That's
At the
right.
club. But here's the funny thing is, Anne is going to be gone. She's going to be at a conference during the Christmas party. She's going to miss it. She was sick last year, and she's going to miss it this year.
Are you going instead?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, for sure.
a lifelong
I'm gonna,
party.
I can't walk though. That's going to be the good part. It's like I'm going to be literally on a little knee scooter, karaokeing
with
and
that
dancing.
back and forth. Yeah.
You could still do damage to the other leg.
I could. Oh man, I could very much. So yeah, no, theirs is next Thursday. So they do some gifts and taco bar and hang out and drinks and karaoke.
Are you doing fancy like tailored drinks like you did for the other one?
I mean, I probably should. I don't know. Any ideas?
You have
Any
plenty of
names?
time.
I got lots of time to just lay around for the next
Chat GPT.
Chat
some drink
GPT,
ideas?
some drink ideas. I'll do it up. That's what I did last time. So, yeah, no, we'll definitely do that. But after the surge of the last year of the Teacher Husbands podcast, did they get a party for you guys going? Anything happening?
No.
Not
In
for
fact,
us, for the
We're having a
staff.
holiday party in January, right?
Oh, okay.
Isn't that what it
Yeah.
is? At the bowling alley.
Oh, okay.
So we're not.
But you had that
fancy
last
like
time,
your
right?
guys'
Well, I know.
Well,
Speaking
2 or 3 years
of
ago.
bowling
You guys
alleys-
go to the country club. We go to the bowling alley. So
Speaking of bowling alley, what?
Did another injury occur at the bowling alley?
Oh no.
With Kyle.
not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the cause.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
I'm drawing a blank.
There's someone who may have gotten injured.
Lost the tooth.
Oh, we don't. No, that wasn't with the Christmas party or anything. So we need to talk about that.
Still bowling
That
alley.
was
I was just going with Kyle.
that was a
4 for 5 for 5
5
now.
for 5.
that was a sad one. Sad thing we don't need to talk about.
I think you talked about it in one of the other podcasts.
Did we?
Like,
I don't remember that at
We
all.
probably, we probably.
Well,
talked
we'll
about
save it for next episode. I think that's great. Perfect. It's good.
it. Yeah, we
Get
can
ready.
Forget about it. It's fine.
Oh, we'll bring it up. It's fine.
Thanks a lot, kids.
We're
You're
ready.
grounded.
Nice.
Brought it up.
We're old now. You can't do that.
Right.
he's never going to live that down. He's like, we're
There
old.
goes your Netflix.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have anymore.
Well, anything else, Jason? You're
teachers in the news?
You're going.
We do have a teacher's in the news before
okay.
we go out.
Okay.
This is a short one. So, a teacher is no longer employed after mistakenly feeding students dog treats. So, this happened in Calhoun City, Mississippi.
Why does that not sound
Sounds.
Yeah.
not surprising?
So, this teacher
Calhoun?
accidentally gave kids dog treats. Yeah, let's quote unquote on that one. Accidentally gave kids dog treats, thinking it was beef jerky.
Oh.
At least 8 kids have been known to have eaten, and 1 went to the hospital with a stomach ache.
Oh, jeez.
When they called the school, the superintendent, or they got a quote from the superintendent that this teacher is no longer at the school anymore. So I don't know if it's because of this or the teacher was like so embarrassed that she resigned or what happened here. But
In what world are you giving beef jerky as like the prize?
Yeah, that seems expensive. Even
I don't
like-
think that's what.
Well, not where
Here's
she's
some
shot.
meat.
I guess not. That's a rawhide.
Yeah.
It's not really beef.
Let's break
beef
this
jerky's
down.
Really
Let's
tough.
break
I had
it
to chew
down.
on it a lot.
Why would you have dog treats in the classroom?
Well, maybe they didn't know they were dogs.
That's true. You could buy
Maybe
them
if
and
they're at
think
the Dollar
they're.
General and
I've
they're
got
right
a bag
next to
that they look like beef jerky. I mean, they don't smell great, but they look like beef
Is there a
jerky.
picture of a dog on the front?
I don't know. I can't move, so I'm not going to go get it.
Let's assume it does.
Let's assume it does, and it probably
Or
says
it says, like,
dog treat on it.
Wagon bacon or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah, bacon strips.
bacon strips,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so we'll assume that teacher is. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Was it like training treats? Maybe that's why she bought it.
Oh, whoa!
For training
going
purposes.
dark.
like chocolate. Maybe would have done the trick
Right.
a little bit better.
Like
than
if they
dog
raise
treat.
their hand instead of blurting out, she's like,
Yeah,
"Good job."
She just throws
little
it.
Pavlovian kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. She has a bell.
Do you guys need to go out and do your chores?
Right.
It does
Sit.
also say that the nurse responded quickly by calling poison control.
Oh,
So I don't think you need to go that far.
I don't think you do
What are we
either.
feeding our
Especially,
dogs
Right.
then?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. I wouldn't give my dog anything that I probably wouldn't eat.
yeah, I don't know about
makes
that.
that makes one
That
of
makes
us.
one of you.
I'm not saying I'm gonna go
'cause-
eat my dog's treats, but I mean it's like if I'm gonna feed my dog that I would hope I could eat it.
There. Okay. That's a different way to state it. I would assume that it's.
I would know because I'm never going
Con-
to eat it.
I'm not
No. Yeah. But it's safe for human consumption.
correct.
There you go.
That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at.
He doesn't like dog
guess.
food. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to eat it, but like I don't want to give my
If you're
dog
real
something
hungry.
that I wouldn't eat ever. Like,
No,
if
that's-
that's
you went
digging
back
to
around
that.
Just on
again.
Tuesdays,
Okay.
maybe special occasions.
Yeah, especially with the kid who went to the doctor because he had a stomachache. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like, let's talk about the parents that took his kid to the doctor.
Maybe
'cause they
April's
ate-
giving you treats. Like, good job, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm like numb to this.
No,
I'm like, it's
yeah.
all normal.
If I
to
would
me,
have
guys.
eaten anything that my dog ate,
I don't know why
this
this is such a big deal.
these are my dogs and my treats. So yeah,
My dog has her own tricks. I
I
have
have my
own.
treat.
Yeah, Jason's treats are Oreos. So
Yeah,
It's true.
That's true.
So Oreos, if you're looking for a sponsorship, Jason is your biggest fan.
I am. I have to try all the flavors.
Ooh, we have
haven't had any ones for a
17
long
cans of Pringles in our house right now for
What? Why?
for Tinifer's birthday party tomorrow.
Are
They're
they-
all
That's
they're
awesome.
Sour
all
cream
different
and onion
kinds.
is the only good kind.
Which one?
Sour cream and onion. That's the best one.
Oh,
No.
By far, it's the best one.
there's so many.
There's some good ones. None of them are really very good, actually.
Yeah, sour cream and onion ones are fantastic.
Because Pringles are not real chips, so it's fine.
What?
They legally
dare you.
can't call them chips.
They're potato crisps.
Yeah,
They're not very
Why?
good.
Because they're not potato?
because it's not like a full potato that they
It's
just like,
bits of
fried.
potato.
It's just
it's
like
the
a
hot
powder
dog of
form.
potato chips.
It's the hot dog.
Dog treats are probably more real food than
That's
Pringles.
probably true.
Right.
I don't mind them, but they're
I'm
not
gonna
that
stop
great.
and get Pringles on the way home.
You
right now.
should. There's some Carnitas Tacos ones in there.
Yeah,
no?
sour cream and onion.
Honey mustard?
You know what's
Oh,
good?
those ones are good.
Are they? I don't know. There's so many flavors in there. We haven't
You have
opened
to
them up.
get you have to get the cottage cheese to dip them in though.
No, that's gross.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's
right.
awesome.
So we are leaving this episode saying that teacher should not have been fired for that because Jason
Yeah,
likes
calm
dog
down.
treats, and
I'm just saying. I
They're
think
not too
teachers have done worse things, like sleepy
sure,
stickers.
like sleepy stickers.
Yeah, you guys didn't hear about
Yeah.
the sleepy sticker.
I've heard about
Is that like put the kids to sleep?
With-
We're tired of dealing with it?
Melatonin
melatonin stickers.
No way.
Come
They
get your
wouldn't
sticker.
sleep at night. They would come home not
They were
tired at
giving
all.
them to kids.
it's like kindergarten, so that when they nap it.
They got all excited about their stickers.
So some of the kids maybe wouldn't sleep, so they made them sleep.
Can't
with-
that have like long term effects?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Here's the thing. What if this
that teacher's
teacher
fired.
with the beef jerky dog treats is in a house like ours where your kids prepare a bunch of snacks ahead of time by putting them in little bags because that's how they take them to school. And this mom doesn't know, and she's a teacher, and she just grabs, oh, here's beef jerky. I'm going to give it to the kids. But she divided it up for the dogs.
It
a
sounds
little
like this is more of a
far-fetched.
systematic thing that she's been doing.
Oh, you think
I
so?
don't think it was on
It
one
didn't
off,
say
was it? Oh.
Oh, I feel like it was a one-off. She just
maybe.
mixed it up.
Wow.
If she pulled a switcheroo, what'd she give her dog that day?
Yeah.
The dog's living large. You got
Dog-
real
yeah,
bacon.
real meat.
Large.
Living large.
Dogs can't have bacon though, guys. I found that out.
It's bad for them.
Is it? Any
It's too
kind of
much
pork
fat and
patty or just
sodium.
bacon?
Mona Lisa and her dog.
Well, because there's a lot of sodium in it.
Oh, our dog ate 2 raw pork chops 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Pulled them straight off the counter. Straight off the counter. She's like, "Oh, nobody's looking. Here we go. I'm gone." And ate 2
A little bit
raw
of
pork
bacon's probably
chops.
fine.
My dog.
So you had
is
Pringles for dinner that night?
Yeah, no, we said 2 pork chops between the 4 of us.
You had to ration it out.
We had to ration
this
it
is still
out.
dinner tonight.
Yeah, we're
That's all
having
we have
dinner
left.
still. The dog ate half of it.
The dog's eating better than us tonight.
eating- My dog has gotten into like chocolate's supposed to be bad for dogs, right? My dog has gotten into
Ours
like,
is eating a whole
thing of
Hershey thing.
fudge. Fine.
Yeah.
I was outside working in the yard, sawdust all over. She's over there lapping that up. And fine.
Why did you have fudge outside?
It's sawdust.
Was it on a windowsill that was cooling down and it knocked it off?
Are you eating fudge while you're doing your sawing or something?
This is different situations. It's not one situation. I'm just saying these are
So I keep my
things.
sawed muscles.
Did you finish cooking the fudge and then you pulled your apron off and then you went out and sawed something? What's happening? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes. Good. That's perfect.
Yeah. Every time I gotta go saw, I gotta make a little bit.
Babe, where's my carpenting fudge?
On that note, I'm gonna probably go make me some carpeting.
Yeah,
fudge.
carpeting fudge. Oh, I like it.
Bring some to work tomorrow because I gotta
Yeah.
taste the sawdust fudge.
It tastes woody,
Earthy. It's got an earthy.
a little earthy.
Some pine.
It's a little piney. Nicely done. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mona
Yes.
Lisa, John
John
Ralphio.
Ralphio, thank you.
It was an honor. Thanks for having us on.
You're so welcome.
One last question. When your dad told you that he was going to be on a podcast, how did you guys take that news? Or how is it now?
How'd you find out what a podcast was?
Nice.
It's got jokes.
He's got
Hilarious. Old man jokes.
I thought it was cute that all you besties get together and make memories, make content. Influencers.
This is serious business.
This is
okay?
serious business.
Right.
right.
This isn't just bros hanging out. Okay.
Right.
No. That's what she's saying.
It's so serious.
You seem you're making light of it.
No.
This
I'm
may be in
bringing
the
the light
archives.
to it.
Yeah. Oh,
I will say it is a lot more
speaking of-
professional than what I was thinking.
See?
that's there you
Please make sure that your friends share the podcast.
Oh, my friends love this podcast. I tell you guys that.
Oh
go.
no!
No,
tell
yeah,
me.
I
yeah.
have a
That
friend.
part. Oh, we can keep going. It's fine. Go ahead.
I have a friend who he works at Walmart and he was like, "Oh yeah, you told me about your dad's podcast. I listen to it all the time while I'm at work." And I was like, "There's no way you actually do. You do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've listened to all the episodes." I'm like, "That he loves you guys. He thinks it's so hilarious."
We got a
So-
fan club already.
All
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Well, Mona Lisa's
all-
friend, we love you back.
That's all we ever wanted.
Well, we need send us an email.
Yeah.
Right.
He does not send us an email.
I'll get on that.
Nobody's sent us emails that
It's-
tells us
we
all the
don't need
things like that.
specific emails, but just like a hey. If
You're
they
doing
have
great.
questions,
Hey, I'm your
send
biggest
in a question.
Yeah.
Where's your guys' Instagram page for them to follow?
We have that.
We have 3 Instagram pages.
Oh, that's
many.
right. That's
4.
Where's the merch?
We don't. Oh,
Coming
yeah.
soon.
Coming soon.
Need some shirts.
And we get a sponsorship by Oreo.
I reached
Or
out to
Lemonheads.
Nerds,
Nerds, yeah,
Oh man.
and they carded my post.
they did.
They did.
What?
Official. Nerds official.
I would definitely eat some nerd clusters if they sponsored us.
for sure. The best candy.
They're not
by the
good,
way.
but I would
No,
definitely eat
they're
them.
amazing. So Nerds, that offer's still on the table.
Nerds
true.
clusters.
Any
Hashtag
candy,
those candy.
it's probably on the table. We can do
Lemonheads also,
it. Also on the.
if you want to sponsor us. I eat them
So
like
if
So-
somebody did want to
text.
email us, Kyle, how would they do that?
teacherhusbandspodcast@gmail.com. No Z's, only S's. Teacher husbands. We're not that cool. We have Z's.
It should have been podcast with a ZT.
Cast. What?
Nope.
no Z's.
nope,
just
not-
teacher
I
messed
husbands
don't
it
like
up.
that.
with an S. Teacher husbands podcast.
Yep. Teacher Husbands
At
Podcast
gmail.com.
on Instagram, on Facebook, at that THP Jeremy.
That
on
THP
Inst-
Jeremy, that THP Kyle, that THP Jason.
Correct.
All the things.
All the things. We're
It's
there.
all there.
We did it. And active.
Yes. I'm
realize-
active.
You realize
I try to be
You,
active.
Jason does the best. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot my password to mine. So.
You didn't you write it in your little book? You have to pull it out.
No, that's
with
my
your
mom.
cheaters and look it up.
My
and
cheaters. I wish I had some. That's not even.
You have tech support sitting right
yeah,
here at this
that's
table.
true.
No, that I can't ask because I've asked them to do too many other things, and now it's gonna be like, ugh. So
All right.
Good.
Well, I
All
guess
right.
on that note, we are
I
out.
know.
And the next one, we will start a new year.
We will start a new year.
2025. Yay!
Well, no,
No,
I
it
mean,
won't.
it'll be New Year for
Oh.
us.
Year 2 of the podcast.
13, episode 13.
Year 2 of the
13.
podcast.
That's right. It'll be still 2024.
Yes, we got one more.
Yeah.
Correct.
Awesome.
Remains
That'll
to
be
be
the
seen.
holiday one.
It'll be a holiday one, or we'll figure out what we want to do. If we have our kids on, or if we wait, we'll see.
It's tentative.
If we
It
get,
is
then we can
tentative.
ask them what they got for Christmas and if they really like it or not. That'll be fun for me to ask that. Do you really like that, or do you? It's like, ugh, and see what they say. That'll be fun for me
It may not be on that one.
because I can.
That one might get cut. Yeah.
Oh no, all the content got even.
I forgot to hit record.
I'll take it. I edited a lot. Wow, it was an hour and a half. Now it's 15 minutes. What happened?
Now it's
Some good
the intro and
editing.
the outro.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys later. You can't get mad, okay?
Oh no, what did you say?